Joel Embiid just had one of the best performances of his career in one of the biggest games of the season on the biggest stage with all the momentum, all the attention, the bright lights, the biggest moment. Joel Embiid came up huge and drug his team to victory against the number one seed in the West, fully healthy, the Denver Nuggets, and his, I won't say rival, but his biggest competition the past couple of years for MVP or best player in the league or whatever you want to call it, Nikola Jokic. Joel Embiid just proved to the world who the best player in the NBA is right now. It is Joel Embiid, damn it! What an incredible game. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these reactions. We were live streaming the game on YouTube and on PlaybackTV, playback.tv/runitbackphilly. You sign in with your TV provider. You watch the game with me. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out. Listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, every other podcast platform. What else I got to say? I don't remember. But what a game. What a game. The Philadelphia 76ers win. 126-119. They take out the Denver Nuggets, the number one seed in the West. Joel Embiid dominates. Had some ups and downs throughout the game. But Joel Embiid ultimately dominated this matchup against Nikola Jokic. Joel Embiid, 47 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and drags his team to victory after being down by 15 in the first half. Nikola Jokic on the other side, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, had 7 turnovers, and he only shot the ball 12 times because, as I've said a million times, his efficiency ratings are so high because he only takes wide open shots. So the MVP only shot the ball 12 times in a big game? Really? This game was an absolute roller coaster, man. From the jump, from the first quarter, I saw a different level of energy from Joel Embiid, and that's why he finished this game with 18 rebounds when he's only averaging, I think, maybe 9.5 or 10. He just had a different energy in this game. He knew this is the Denver Nuggets. This is Nikola Jokic. This is me, who's been disrespected recently. And I said that in the pregame. I said, do you guys think Joel Embiid not being voted an all-star starter is going to light some kind of extra fire under him? I saw Joel Embiid wanted blood. Joel Embiid wanted to kill from the time this game started. He was out for blood from the time this game started. He had a fire lit under him because he was not voted into the All-Star game, and he lost the MVP award 2 years in a row to Nikola Jokic. He finally gets to prove to the world who the best player is, and he comes out firing from the jump. 14 points in the first quarter for Joel Embiid. He went right at Nikola Jokic time and time again from the beginning of this game. And Nikola Jokic absolutely cannot guard Joel Embiid. There's not a chance in hell. It got to the point where Jokic was just moving out of his way. He cannot even come close to guarding him. Joel was getting under the rim, completely just moving Jokic out of his way and doing very easy layups. I mean, he was going at him from the start. This is what we came for. Are you not entertained? Second quarter, the Denver Nuggets adjust. They start to double Joel. They start to bring some pretty creative doubles. They start to bring Bones Highland from the weak side, Aaron Gordon from the weak side. Embiid struggled a little bit in the second quarter. Only 5 in the second after having 14 in the first. The Sixers go into a 15-point deficit in the first half. A lot of it was Embiid sitting in the second quarter. Doc Rivers going with Montrezl Harrell at backup center. Like I said before, like I've said a million times, that's the one thing I hate about this team and Doc Rivers is his choice to go with Montrez at backup center. Montrez cannot play any defense. So we saw Montrez against Nikola Jokic in the second quarter. The same exact matchup that got Doc Rivers fired from the Clippers for playing Montrez against Jokic in the Western Conference semifinals and blowing a 3-1 lead. He did the same thing tonight. But we survived the non-Embiid minutes. Somebody said that in the chat, and I really like that. That's a key. That's a key for this team. That's a key for this team moving forward. That is a very big key for this team moving forward, is surviving the non-Joel Embiid minutes. Let's move on to the third quarter. Well, the second quarter, we got into the deficit because of terrible defense on perimeter players. And I called that before the game started, too. Same thing happened against the Nets with Seth Curry and Kyrie Irving. The Sixers could not guard the perimeter. You had Kentavious Caldwell-Pope hitting shots. You had Michael Porter Jr. hitting threes. You had Jamal Murray hitting threes. You even had Nikola Jokic hitting threes out there in the second quarter. We had goose eggs from Tobias and PJ in the first half. Goose eggs. Third quarter comes out. Sixers again. Energy. Go on a run. We spam the two-man game. Joel Embiid, James Harden. Joel Embiid, James Harden. Joel Embiid, James Harden. Do it until they stop it, because they can't. Spam the two-man game. Embiid finishes over Jokic on a roll to the basket. Jokic sees Embiid rolling, moves out of his way. Completely does not even try to play defense, moves out of his way. I'm sorry. I don't think that's an MVP performance. Then the Nuggets go on a run. We cut it down to 6 in the third quarter. You're saying we have a chance. Then the Nuggets go on a run. There was a third quarter where we cut it down to 6, and all of a sudden, there's a couple ticky-tack touch fouls on the other side. Right? Referees, couple technicals, PJ Tucker gets a technical for a touch foul and then screaming at the ref. So there's 3 points the referees handed the Nuggets. Then Doc Rivers gets a technical foul. Embiid on Jokic one-on-one, man. It was nonstop the whole game. In the third quarter, Embiid gets Jokic one-on-one, hits him with an Allen Iverson-esque crossover and a Kobe Bryant-esque reverse dunk. I mean, he was cooking. They make another run. We're down by 15. The Sixers get called for a technical foul for having only 4 players on the floor. I've never seen that before. And Embiid gets fouled on a full court shot to end the third quarter. Joel Embiid drags us all the way back, and it's a 3-point game in the third. In the fourth, Montrez comes in. They stretch it back to 8, 9, maybe 10. But we survived the non-Embiid minutes. Joel Embiid comes back in the second half of the fourth quarter and absolutely shreds. Absolutely shreds. Absolutely. Let me go look at Joel Embiid's fourth quarter scoring. He comes in off the bench in the fourth quarter and says, I'm not losing this game. I am not losing this game. He continues what he started in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, he continues what he started. He comes in and he attacks. Joel Embiid in the fourth quarter was 5 for 8, 2 for 3 from 3 for 12 points and 2 blocks. That's what MVP players do. Joel Embiid dominated this game offensively and defensively and beat the best team in the West. He comes in the fourth quarter, he's hitting mid-range jumpers. There was a mid-range jumper. He was feeling himself so much, he shot it like a floater and walked away. He knew it was going in. Then he gets a wide open 3. Bang. Bang. Under a minute left. Up by 5. The Sixers need somebody to ice it. Joel Embiid on Nikola Jokic. Under a minute left. The biggest stage against one of the best teams in the league, against the back-to-back MVP. We get exactly what we came for. Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic. He calls for an ISO. He ISOs Nikola Jokic under a minute left and hits a step-back 3 to ice the damn game. So the key to this win was Joel Embiid coming back into the game and dragging us to victory offensively. But one of the biggest things was also our defensive effort. Our defense in the fourth quarter was phenomenal. The energy was great. PJ Tucker absolutely clamped Nikola Jokic in the fourth quarter. PJ Tucker absolutely clamped Nikola Jokic in the fourth quarter. Nikola Jokic in the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Nikola Jokic in the fourth quarter, the MVP. The Swiper Cam just told me pregame that he's on the verge of the greatest offensive player of all time. He said that to my face. He said Nikola Jokic is on the verge of being the greatest offensive player of all time. And he said nobody has an answer for it. And I said, then why doesn't he have a championship? In the fourth quarter of this game, the air quotes on the verge of being the greatest offensive player of all time got clamped up by PJ fucking Tucker. In the fourth quarter of this game, Nikola Jokic had 2 points on 2 field goal attempts and 3 turnovers. Nikola Jokic in the fourth quarter of this game, defended by 37-year-old PJ Tucker, had 2 points and 3 turnovers. That's your MVP? That's your MVP? That's your MVP? Are you kidding me? Are you shitting me right now? Joel Embiid had 12 points and 2 blocks. I'm sorry. It's obvious to me who the best player in the NBA is right now. It is Joel Hans Embiid. Damn it. Tobias Harris came up huge in certain moments in the third and the fourth quarter after having a goose egg in the first half. Loved what he did. Tyrese Maxey didn't have a great game. I thought there was that line up in the third quarter where Maxey kind of gets to run his own offense. No Joel, no Harden out there. And he struggled. Missed a couple bunnies. Missed a couple wide open layups. Tobias Harris hit a huge 3 to put us up 8 late in the fourth quarter. So Tobias stepped up. Joel Embiid was as dominant as we've ever seen him. 47-15. And PJ Tucker clamped up Nikola Jokic. What did Harden have in this game, man? What did Harden have in this game? I don't even feel like James Harden did a whole lot. James Harden was 0 for 4 in the fourth quarter. We were saying in the first half, nobody else is doing anything. Embiid's the only one scoring. All periods. Now NBA.com's telling me 0. Everybody scored 0 points. James Harden in this game was 5 for 10 for 17 points, but he had 13 assists. 13 assists. Very efficient point guard game from James Harden. Didn't do anything spectacular scoring-wise, but they spammed that two-man game. Denver couldn't stop it. We stepped up defensively. And God damn it, Joel Embiid led us to victory. Joel Embiid is the MVP of the NBA. Period. That's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Y'all have a fantastic day. And go Birds.